Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me. And, I realize, the watch parties are fun, but I miss actually reviewing the show. So, I wanted to talk about Cornelius. It's mainly going to be about Cornelius, but I'll touch on other people here and there. And then obviously, y'all can sound off in the comments. So, as always, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's get into the Ready to Love drama. So my main question is Cornelius playing with fire? Cornelius was introduced to us as a guy who, he hasn't been on the straight and narrow for a long time, but now he's trying to get back on there, trying to get back right with God, and is practicing abstinence, right? So if you think about it, his strongest connection is with Camille. And Camille, child, maybe we should talk about Camille first. Let's just touch on Camille for a second. Camille's in her early 40s, and she is really zeroed in on Cornelius. I don't blame her, charming man from first impressions. Now, I'm not quite sure. Charming man, good values, somebody who seems like a great candidate to attach yourself to. However, she was very premature in making that connection and hasn't really branched out to anybody else. She kind of stifled her journey by doing that, but that's her decision and she's sticking by it. She's also in the same line of values in choosing to be abstinent until marriage. I don't know if she's ever even dabbled at all because she seems very adamant on staying abstinent, but obviously we know Cornelius has played with fire and now he's choosing to stay away. So here we have Cornelius and Courtney, where Courtney is very open with her sexuality, her sexual expression, and her desire for sexual activity.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be hard with you because the way you look, he still prefers to not make sex the foundation of a relationship. I understand where he's coming from, but I'm a sexual person. And when it comes to dating, I'm going after what I want.
The clips from the upcoming episode show that she's really going to be putting in that work. And my thing with Cornelius that kind of irritates me is not necessarily Cornelius himself, but guys who present as Cornelius has presented himself. So they say, I haven't always done the right thing, but I'm trying to do the right thing now. But then make choices that will not lead them that way. Even with the conversation he had with Courtney, it seemed like she was almost surprised that he really was choosing to stay abstinent. Now, if you're not a Christian, or if you are a Christian who just doesn't subscribe to abstinence, ain't no problem with that. Go ahead, live up your best life, crack them legs open, be about your business. However, if you're somebody who is saying, this is my belief, yet you're toying with a situation where that person is clearly stating to you, I don't believe in that. And furthermore, if I'm given the opportunity to test you, I will. That's another problem that I really have with Cornelius. He's showing Courtney already that my boundaries can be challenged, and she's taking him up on that opportunity. It's funny how in the last episode, Camille said that she had a conversation with Cornelius about boundaries, yet she treated him the way that she did in the presence of other people.
These girls will come up to you being flirtatious and be like, in your face, and you just, oh, country bumpkin ass, like you're like, you're like feeding into it like a dumbass. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
I'm not doing
and
that.
it's not, and I'm not gonna stay there for that.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm really not.
But I wonder what that conversation consisted of. Because for me, the way that you treat me, the way that you speak to me is all a part of boundaries. And I feel like that's maybe something that was missed. I do have to say, though, people should stop sending hate to her. I mean, she apologized on the show. Lackluster apology, in my opinion. But she did say she already had apologized to Cornelius and did it on camera for, viewing pleasure. And then she also apologized to the other women. It's okay. She apologized. He accepted. We have to accept it because he accepted it. But now his situation with Courtney is kind of showing me, I don't think you know what your boundaries are. I think maybe he's used to getting caught up in a situation and, maybe he'll just go and ask for repentance later. But if you're actually, looking for marriage, you're wanting a lifelong partnership and you're saying, I want to be this kind of person, even before I get with whoever it is that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, hopefully, you need to understand who you are, what you need, and what it's going to take to get to those goals. Messing with Courtney is not going to do that. Granted, being on Ready to Love, it's kind of tough because the pool of people to pick from is small. Also, a lot of people come with more stipulations when it comes to dating, more baggage. We talked about that in the live where ideally it would be easier for older people because they know more mature people because they know what they want, but you also come with more life experience and more baggage, for lack of a better term. But yeah, Cornelius, I feel, needs a self-reflection, needs a little bit more introspection on seeing, is this the person that I'm trying to be? Is what I said in the beginning, the person who I presented myself to be, really who I'm trying to be? And if so, is messing with Courtney, even if it's just for fun, going to get me to be that person? Or even Camille, because even though their values align, some of her behavior, I feel like, shouldn't be okay. And I can't help but wonder what he lets slide when they're off camera. Because this was on camera and at a pool party. That's crazy. A couple other things are going to happen this next episode. We have Dante actually coming out about it, I guess, because I haven't heard him talk about it, that he has 3 children with 3 different baby mamas. And I think it's a conversation between him and Sabrina.
She was able to relate to the difficulties of, raising children and be empathetic. The fact that, I have 3 children. Women, for the most part, will, put an X against me just based off of that. So I appreciated that.
I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I feel like he wasn't discounted for having 3 kids. He might get, a red flag from people, like flag on the play, from the 3 children having 3 different mamas. To me, that's the greater concern. I would be wondering what failed 3 times over. What were the parameters in that relationship that made it not work? And why continue to reproduce and then not have longevity in those relationships if they were not long relationships? I feel like that's more of the red flag that comes up, not necessarily that he has 3 kids. Things I want to see is whether or not Sean actually makes a connection. He's one of the guys that I'm rooting for. Loved his conversation he had with Aisha. It's unfortunate that their paths just don't line up. And Sydney. I want to see where Sydney goes, who Sydney connects with. She seems like a vibe. Yeah. I just wanted to sit down, talk with y'all, see what y'all were thinking, see what y'all are anticipating in the next episode. I probably will be doing like short little videos throughout the week. So I will do the watch parties and then maybe like 1 or 2 videos in the week just to get a little deeper in the topics that we couldn't cover in the watch party. So if you have not been attending the watch parties and you want to be a part of the madness, those are Fridays every day starting at 7:50. And then you can tune in to these little mini reviews throughout the week. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.